Some people say it is well. Others will tell you it is God's will. Some people will even say they're in a better place or God knows best. Others will even tell you, let us not question God. But shouldn't we really? Let us dive together in this conversation talking about grief. My name is Wanjiro Samuels. In 2019, this journey called life suddenly hit me double slaps on my face. I did not know that I was going to deal with a death in my house. Many of you who know me know I lost my daughter in 2019 through a homicide, a matter that is still in our courts up until today. Before that, I had never really lost somebody close to me, right? I had lost relatives, I had lost friends, I had lost friends of friends, I had lost associates, but losing my own child ushered me into a dark world. I did not know how to navigate it. For the next couple of months when it happened, I was really besides myself, to be honest. I was filled with rage, I was filled with anger, and I was confused most of the time. My friends, many of them told me things that I would have rather not heard. Many of them would tell me, we are really sorry, she's in a better place. I questioned that and I said, what do you mean she's in a better place? Does it mean that I am such a bad mother that my child needed to go and be in a better place? They never meant to tell me that I wasn't a bad mother, but that is how I interpreted it at that time in my life. I went back to work, and I remember one of our HRs telling me, it's God's will. Man, that statement stung me. It pierced my heart like a double-edged sword, just cutting back and forth, like there was no space to rest. What do you mean that she's in a better place? What do you mean? You mean God was such a bad person that he needed to take my child away and leave me in this kind of pain? Fast forward to 2023, and I lost my mother, who I had cared for I think 8 months on. I went through the motions of seeing her body wither down. I saw her health deteriorating, and all the hospital visits and all the tests and all the doctor's promises. But it's like, again, I was in a space where I couldn't see death coming. I was still extremely hopeful. And then my mother succumbed to cancer in June of 2023. I think I shut down. Went through very difficult I went through a very difficult time with my family. You know, I literally wasn't talking to a lot of my family members, but topic for another day. So I really shut down because death struck me twice. And then fast forward again, 2025 in February, and my dad passes on. Another very difficult blow to me because my dad died on a Thursday. I was supposed to visit him in hospital on a Saturday. It was my time to go see him. You know, when grief comes, when it knocks on your door, it does not prepare you. It does not send an alert. Nobody says this is how you position yourself for something big is coming, but really it just comes and it hits you and you roll in the waves. And of course I had people around me coming to console me, talking to me, assisting financially, emotionally in prayers and all that. But that wasn't enough. I didn't feel like I was having enough. I still had a battle with God. I still had enough questions. So let me take you back to 2019 when I lost my daughter. You see, she was just a 15-year-old young girl, full of life ahead of her, had just gone to school for the very first time in high school, and then boom, it happened. I was very confused. But the months that followed, I was trying to come to terms. Like, did I miss any signs? Did I do something wrong? Was I responsible for taking her to a particular part of Kenya to go to school? Like, I was trying to look for where I could take responsibility for my actions. And then came the condoning messages from my friends who meant well and family members. And those were some of the statements I was talking about. And with every word anybody said to me, I was deciphering it. I was analyzing everything. It was difficult for me to even sit amongst friends. It was difficult for me to even worship God. It was difficult for me to pray. I had gone through a dark time, and I did not know how to carry myself. We are told as Christians we should not grieve like people who do not have a hope. At that particular time, I didn't have no hope. I did not believe in God. In fact, I hated him because I questioned him, and I was like, man, even if you should have just sent a signal to me. You should have sent something. You should have sent a dream. I was very lost in the things that I was doing, in the way I was behaving. I would spend a lot of times at the cemetery, just sitting there not saying anything. Until today I sit back and I ask myself, what was I really doing at the cemetery for 12 hours straight? I would leave home, turn my phone off, get on a boda and hop to the cemetery, sit right there until sunset. Nobody knew where I was. I was losing my mind. That's what grief makes you do. Grief will make you lose your mind. Grief will pull you back. Grief will take you to dark places. Grief will make you lose sight of work. Grief will make you not care for your other children if you have other children. Grief will make you abandon your spouse. Grief will make you abandon your family because you do not want to be in spaces where you are looking like, you don't want people to feel sorry for you, but you also do not want people to see you as if you're weak, and especially if you're a strong person. Why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you this because I think it is high time people are sensitive to people who are going through grief. In my opinion, now that I look back, I would have loved that the people who came to me wouldn't have said the things they said to me then, because the words they said to me hurt even more. My mind was not ready to accept. Immediately a grief happens, or during that short period, because we as Africans, especially here in Kenya, and let me just come down to my sub-tribe. I'm a Kikuyu by virtue of my middle name. We don't keep bodies for so long. So we'd probably do maximum 2 weeks. Unless somebody is being, the body is being ferried from overseas. But most of the time we do a maximum of 2 weeks. In my case, we did a week. So I did not have time to process a lot of things. But people came to me and told me things that hurt me more than made me feel better. You see, in this journey of grief, there is no manual. But I went through a grief share class thanks to a good friend of mine called Irene. She signed me up without my knowledge. And I think for the next 10 weeks of that grief share sessions, 5 of them or 6 of them, I was just crying through and through. Because anything I had was a trigger to me. Anything anybody said, even if it related to my situation, it was not my situation. My situation felt unique to myself. I was grieving for the very first time. I had lost my child for the very first time. I did not know what to do with myself. How do we grieve better? Or how should we relate to people who are grieving? In my opinion, ever since I have gone through these 3 griefs in my family that were very close to me, one, my daughter, and then my mother, then my father, I have come to realize that if I go to visit a grieving person, I will not say anything. I will just go sit, and if they need anything, most of the time they don't, so I'll probably just give fluids. Just make sure they eat something. Make sure they take a shower. Encourage them to go and have a change of clothes, or probably even comb their hair out, or trim their nails, or paint their nails. Just do something to uplift somebody's mood. But at that particular time when it's still raw and fresh, they don't want to hear anything in their ears, like it is well, like God knows, like it's God's will. Unless it comes from their lips, don't say it. It hurts more than it is expected to do good, more than it is expected to provide a relief. And yes, there's a lot of blame games that happen. I blamed myself too much. I blamed God too much. He was one person I was contending with. But later on, I came to understand. In fact, there's a whole book in the Bible, the book of Lamentations, where it is all about complaints. It's all about cries to God. It's all about petitioning God. And I did all that. And eventually God redeemed me. Because, by the way, my daughter's grief pushed me out of church. I saw too many skeletons in church folk. I expected so much from broken people. I got so little, or rather I got other things that I did not expect to get at that particular time. It really hurt deep. So what am I saying? When somebody is going through grief, my friends, offer the ministry of presence. Be there for them. Don't ask them things like, in case you need anything, let me know. Man, that statement is insensitive, in my opinion. I don't know what I need at that time. My eyes can't see beyond me and beyond my pain. My mind cannot process nothing beyond my pain. So if you're a close friend to me and you're telling me, tell me in case you need anything, or call me in case you need anything, I will not call you. At that time, I don't expect anything from anybody because I don't even know what anyone is doing. Pick up a responsibility, pick up a role. Come, you will find other people who are handling different things. Find something that you can do and insert yourself there. But when you go to the bereaved person and tell them, in case of anything, call me, I will not call you. In my case, I even had other relatives who today I don't consider them as my relatives, who even said that I did not invite them. And I asked, who invites anyone to a funeral? Who invites anyone to a funeral? You have come. You have found out that I have lost a child. You know other people in that family. And then you disappear and expect that I will call you to tell you, oh, by the way, the funeral is on this and this day. Me, when I'm dealing with everything I'm dealing with and I don't even know myself anymore. I mean, guys, let us be sensitive. Funerals, there's no invitation unless people are going to the crematorium, for example, and you are told only 20 people will go in, and those 20 people have already been communicated to. But really, the rest of us who just, why do you want to be invited to a funeral and you are somebody's relative? I even had some relatives who later on would call me and they want to measure where mentally I am at. And somebody even, my gosh, when I think about this, it just riles me up. A relative of mine called me on the phone and said, you know, your life has been different from mine. And now, you know, me, I lost my husband. Even me, I am a widow. I'm like, so why are we comparing? Is it a comparison match? Like the audacity. Grief can make you do very stupid things. But be careful what you do, because how you relate to me when I'm going through my worst period in life will determine whether I'm your friend after the fact or not. So let us be sensitive, guys. Let's be sensitive. Let us offer the ministry of presence if we cannot say anything better. And if we have nothing to say, keep silent. Don't say anything. Just be there. Assist in washing dishes, bring milk, cook for people tea, and then just wave and go. Or just give hugs and go. Or sit there and encourage somebody to cry. Because most of the time, when somebody is going through grief, they go into shock. And when they go into shock, it's like they can't even cry. They cannot even process the emotional feelings that they have. And that was me. I had cried so much that at some point my tears dried. And I was swallowing all the pain inside. And here I really want to just give a shout out to another friend of mine. Her name is Nduta. She really helped me through this. You know, she encouraged me to cry. And the day I cried, I wailed. I wailed like I was being paid to wail. But that pain needed to come out. It's crazy. So, guys, let's be sensitive to people who are grieving. If you don't have nothing to say, don't say nothing. Offer your ministry of presence. And relatives, stop comparing yourselves. If you lost your spouse, it is sad. But don't come here and try to compare my pain with your pain. Pain is not the same. My pain is my pain. I know how it feels, and ain't nobody can feel it like I do. Only I know how I feel. So let grieving people process. Let them go through the motions. Just be there by their side. And yes, now I know that we do not grieve like people who do not have a hope, but we grieve like people who have a hope in eternity. Because Christ died and he resurrected. And he also felt the pain of death. And that is why we go through it, because why? We are created in the image and in the likeness of God. So if he went through the motions, and so will we. Because in his word he says that it is not going to be easy. This journey is not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. That even if we go through the valley of the shadow of death, he is there with us. When I was going through my thickest, he was there with me. When I have gone through the different grief periods that I have, he has been with me. God is the only constant who will never leave you. Because I lost too many friends. Some of them were frenemies. They were not really friends. Some of them were asserting themselves in situations. Some of them were there to help for a period of time. And when their time was up, they had to go. Don't hold on to relationships that have outlived their time. And that is a story I'm going to share some other time. But for today, I just want to say, grief exposes who is around you. Grief shows you who your friends, who your relatives are. Grief is dangerous. It can tear a family apart, or it can put families together. I would love to engage. I would love to know, what was your journey of grief? What did you go through? How did you overcome it? Where are you now? Are you still in it? Are you going through it? Or have you gone beyond it? Like, are you on the other side? Can you look back and say, I am a better person today? Can you talk about your story without being emotional? Or can you talk about your story with confidence and with courage, without being carried away by the very thick emotion that grief brings? I would like to give credit to my producer and my editor, Emmanuel Dope. Thank you for a good job done. God bless you. Thank you to my viewers. You guys have welcomed me into this serve space with a lot of grace. I don't take that for granted. I really do appreciate you. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.